Good morning. This is Ben Kruger with Old School Manufacturing. I'm going to discuss a problem that we have had with a false temperature reading on your monitor. Number one, if you've been pulling in heavy weeds and the generator has been working hard, this is not a false temperature reading. You're overheating the generator. Please follow the instructions and never ever shut off a hot generator unless it's an absolute emergency. It's much like turning off your tractor after it's been pulling hard and can cause substantial damage to the generator itself. Always allow the generator to cool for a minimum of 2 minutes before stopping operation of the PTO, unless, of course, it's an emergency. If that was not the case, and if you have not been working the generator and you're seeing spiking or abnormal action of the temperature reading on the monitor, in that case, we would come back to the passenger side of the cart. We would look and inspect the little silver wire here that I'm looking at. This is actually a thermocouple. And we would make sure that that thermocouple is not pushed up against steel. It is not run through a clamp. And it is zip tied securely to one of these large black cables. It seems that whenever these become shorted up against steel, we can get some false readings, and that can cause an inaccurate reading on our monitor and an irritant for our customer. So once again, we see this cable coming out. We make for sure that it's staying away from any steel components, zip tied securely and neatly. The next thing we would do is we would inspect it here where it actually goes into the box. We would unplug it, plug it in, make sure that everything is intact. If the problem persists, we may come back here and have someone watch our monitor and wiggle the plug around gently. And if we get a monitor reading that fluctuates, at this point we would know we need to take this plug apart. There's 2 screws on the inside of it and retorque them. Probably the most common cause of the speed sensor misreading is right here. This plug is a 2-part plug, as you can see now. Typically during shipping, we have had the top of the plug be in and the bottom of the plug be in and the top of the plug be out. And when you look at it, it looks like everything is fine. Simply unplug it and plug the whole thing back in securely. This is not an arm wrestling contest. It'll plug in easily, so don't push hard. Make sure it's plugged in securely. That is the most common problem. I think that covers our temperature sensor warning and loose connection failure. So if those are all inspected, once again, if you've been working the generator hard, yeah, it probably heated up. If it's pulling down on your big tractor, it's pulling hard on our generator too. Thanks a lot for your time. Have a great day.